We all have that one person. You know the one. The person who knows exactly which buttons to push to send you spiraling. A single offhand comment, a dismissive look, a compliment that's actually a jab, and suddenly your entire day is hijacked. You find yourself replaying their words over and over, stewing in frustration, your mood completely at their mercy. It's like they have a remote control for your emotions, and you're left feeling drained, angry, and utterly powerless. But what if you could take that remote back? What if you had a simple mental tool used for centuries by everyone from emperors to playwrights that could make you completely immune to their negativity? With this one Stoic shift, you don't just build thicker skin, you change the entire game. You put yourself back in the driver's seat, instantly. That feeling of powerlessness is one of the most draining human experiences. But where does it actually come from? Most of us grow up believing that our happiness and our peace depend on what happens outside of us. We feel good when someone praises us. We feel bad when someone insults us. We've basically handed over the keys to our own well-being. And that's the trap. The difficult person, the critical boss, the manipulative relative, the negative co-worker gets this instinctively. They know that if they can mess with your external world, they can control your internal one. Their power isn't some mystical force, it's a weakness they've found in you. A weakness built on the false idea that they can make you feel anything at all. We spend so much energy trying to manage this. We try to reason with unreasonable people. We chase the approval of those who will never give it. We try to change their tone, their attitude, their very personality. It's an exhausting, unwinnable battle. You can't control other people's actions any more than you can command the wind to change direction. It's a recipe for constant frustration. The Stoics saw this over 2,000 years ago. They knew the real source of our suffering wasn't the difficult person, but our own mistaken belief that they hold any real power over us. So, what's the secret? What is this big mental flip? It isn't about ignoring people or pretending their words don't exist. The secret is realizing that your inner peace was never in danger in the first place. The foundational idea of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control, and it changes everything. It says some things are up to us and some things are not. So what's up to us? Our thoughts, our judgments, and our choices. That's it. Our own mind. What's not up to us? Pretty much everything else. The weather, the economy, and most importantly, what other people say, think, and do. When someone insults you, their words are external. They're just vibrations in the air. When they act unfairly, that action comes from their mind, not yours. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus put it perfectly. If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. That complicity is the key. The difficult person dangles a hook, but you're the one who chooses to bite. The solution then isn't to fight the person, it's to simply refuse to be complicit. It's about building what the Stoics called an inner citadel, a mental fortress so secure that no external chaos can ever breach it. Your judgments are the gatekeepers. When negativity shows up at your gate, you have the ultimate authority to say, "Nope, you're not coming in. This doesn't make you cold or unfeeling. It makes you the stable, unshakable force in your own life." Perhaps no one understood this better than the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. As the most powerful man in the world, he was constantly surrounded by difficult people, scheming senators, ungrateful citizens, and gossiping courtiers. Every single day was a potential barrage of negativity and betrayal. In his private journal, Meditations, He wrote that he would start each morning by preparing himself. He'd tell himself, "Today I will meet with people who are meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." He didn't do this to become a cynic. He did it to remind himself that their behavior stemmed from their own issues, and crucially, that it was not within his control. Imagine Aurelius during a military campaign. A messenger brings news that a general has not only disobeyed an order, but is also bad-mouthing him to the troops. An average leader would fly into a rage, feeling betrayed and disrespected. Their entire strategy would be derailed by this personal offense. But Marcus, as a Stoic, would pause. He'd look inward. The general's actions? Not in his control. The gossip? Not in his control. What is in his control is his own response. He could choose to act with rage and paranoia, which would only create more chaos. Or he could choose to act with the 4 Stoic virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. He could use wisdom to calmly assess the military facts. He could use justice to investigate the report fairly, without emotional bias. He could use courage to address the general directly, but with clarity instead of fury. And he could use temperance to manage his own ego, making the situation about the good of Rome, not his personal honor. The betrayal was just an external event. It was noise. The emperor's response, however, was his chance to practice virtue. This is the secret in action, turning an obstacle or a difficult person into a canvas for your own character. So how do we use this imperial wisdom when dealing with that undermining colleague or that draining relative? It comes down to a simple 3-step method you can use right in the heat of the moment. Step 1. The pause and amp separate. The second you feel that flash of anger or hurt, your first move is to do nothing. Just pause. Breathe. Create a tiny bit of space between what just happened and how you react. In that space, you'll find your power. Now, ask yourself the most important question in Stoicism. Is this in my control? The rude comment that was just made? No. The other person's bad mood? No. Their opinion of you? Definitely not. Then ask what is in your control. Your interpretation of the comment, the meaning you give it, and how you choose to respond. This simple act of sorting things into 2 baskets, mine and not mine, is incredibly freeing. The other person's behavior is just noise. Your response is the signal. Step 2. The acknowledgement and amp. Indifference. Once you've sorted their action into the not in my control basket, the next step is to simply acknowledge it as reality. This isn't the same as approving of it. You don't have to like what they did. Stoic acceptance is like acknowledging the weather. You don't get angry at the clouds or argue with the rain. You just accept that it's raining and decide whether to grab an umbrella. A difficult person can be like a force of nature. Their negativity is the rain. You can stand there screaming at the storm, or you can practice what the Stoics called a healthy indifference. Their behavior says more about their own inner turmoil than it does about you. It's not personal. It's just happening. By accepting it as an external fact, you rob it of its power to hurt you. Step 3. The pivot to virtue. This is the final and most empowering step. You've paused, you've separated what you can and can't control, and you've acknowledged the situation without judgment. Now you pivot your entire focus back to your inner citadel, to what you can control. You get to decide what to do next based on your values, not your raw emotions. Instead of just reacting, you can choose a response guided by the Stoic virtues. Will you respond with a wisdom, by seeking to understand the situation before you act? Will you respond with justice, by being fair, even to someone who has been unfair to you? Will you respond with courage, by addressing the issue calmly, or by having the strength to simply walk away? Will you respond with temperance, by managing your ego and not getting drawn into a pointless battle? The effect is staggering. That difficult person is expecting a specific reaction. They are counting on you to get angry, defensive, or upset. When you refuse to play that part, when you pause, acknowledge, and pivot to a controlled, virtuous response, you break the entire script. The power cord they tried to plug into your emotional outlet finds no socket. You're in control. You've made them, and their negativity, powerless over you. This is just one tool from the Stoic toolbox for building a truly resilient mind. If you're ready to trade anxiety for agency and build your own inner fortress, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. We explore practical philosophy for modern challenges every single week. The wisest people throughout history understood a fundamental truth: no one can harm you unless you permit them to. Difficult people don't have power over you, they have the power you give them. The moment you stop leasing out your peace of mind and take full ownership of your inner world, their influence evaporates. The Stoic secret isn't some complex technique. It's a simple, profound choice. It's the choice to focus on what you control and to let go of what you don't. It's knowing that while you can't always choose what happens to you, you always get to choose your response. And that is the ultimate freedom. The next time someone tries to push your buttons, just remember, those buttons aren't connected to anything unless you let them be. You are the fortress, and only you control the gate.